Hello everyone, thank you for watching Edupedia World videos. So in today's topic, as ABAP daily monitoring, we are going to see the daily monitoring tasks which have to be performed on an ABAP system. Okay, so SAP system daily monitoring. As a NetWeaver consultant involved in support project, we need to perform a daily or a weekly health checkup for the ABAP systems in order to identify errors and fix in timely manner, proactively identify and fix issues which would otherwise result in potential problems, to improve system performance by collecting daily or weekly statistics. So this monitoring has to be carried out daily or weekly, or if required monthly also. Okay, so the aim of this monitoring is to identify errors and fix in timely manner. Once a system has gone live and it is into support or maintenance phase, users will be accessing the system. So you need to identify. So once like somebody operates on the system, they might encounter some errors. Okay, so you have to identify them, you have to check, that is you have to monitor the system, find out the errors, okay, and fix them if it is in your permissible area. If not, you have to send it to the respective team, that is they can be functional errors or technical ABAP errors. Okay, that is the first thing. Next one is to proactively identify and fix issues which would otherwise result in potential problems. Now today it's something like you're checking that might not be a problem, but if you leave it tomorrow or maybe next week, it will become a problem. So those things also you have to find out and fix them. Say like the database is up, it's running. Okay, so the every database will have some files, physical files at the operating system level. Now if once the data is increasing, you need to add more files. So that you'll put some threshold like 90%. So once that usage of that files is above 90%, you have to add some more files. Okay, that is one type of monitoring. Because if today if it's say like 91% you didn't add, maybe tomorrow it can reach 100% and it will become a problem. So you have to expand the files, add more files, those things. So proactively also, today it's not an error, but something like tomorrow it will become an error. Those things also you have to identify and fix them. Next one, to improve system performance by collecting daily or weekly statistics. Now you have to improve the system performance. Okay, so see, once a system is up and running starting from day one, as you know, the time passes, the data in the system will obviously increase, the number of users might increase. Okay, so to the database there will be so much additions, deletions. Okay, and you know, probably you have to upgrade your software, all these things. Okay, so to this type of monitoring, like you have to collect some stats in your daily and weekly monitoring which will help you to improve the performance of your system. So the overall aim of daily monitoring is to identify the errors and fix them, proactively identify and fix issues which would otherwise result in potential problems, and to improve the system performance. Now this monitoring we have like probably in a wider view, okay, is of these different types. First thing is system monitoring, proactive monitoring to check the status of your system before any alerts are generated. Okay, so this is nothing but the basis administrator, what they have to do is like all the above, the first thing. The second thing, like you have to identify errors and fix them, or proactively identify something and fix it. Business process monitoring. Business process monitoring enables you to monitor business processes distributed across complex system landscape. You can also monitor the interfaces between your business process steps. Now if we look the system, it is connected to different other systems. Okay, so when you look from a business perspective, there is something known as business process monitoring, that is the flow of data between one system to another and the processing of data in the system. Okay, so when they are complex, when your landscape is complex, that is, you have n number of systems connected. Okay, so in that case you will need business process monitoring, and here also you will monitor the interfaces between your business process steps. The third type is root cause analysis. Root cause analysis enables you to spot errors and performance bottlenecks actively before they can affect your business process flow. If errors occur, you can identify the problem areas in your system landscapes and initiate appropriate measures. So this root cause analysis is what it is like. The third point, you have to spot the errors and the performance bottlenecks before they affect your business. Okay, and then you will identify these things early, at an early stage, otherwise they will impact your business within some time. Okay, so the basic aim of monitoring is this, and every NetWeaver or basis administrator has to do daily, weekly, or sometimes monthly also. For collecting stats, he has to perform some monitoring steps. Now they are like, right, in our last topic we have discussed about SAP transaction. So that they are different transactions which are used by the basis or NetWeaver administrator to monitor the system. Okay, so because there are n number of transactions, what I have done is I have split them into different videos. In the present video we'll discuss 4 transactions. Similarly, in the next video we'll discuss few more. Okay, so I have split all the transactions into different videos. That's why I have named this topic as monitoring part 1. Okay, similarly you'll find other videos, part 2, etc. Okay, now the first transaction which we are going to check is transaction code SM21, that is the system log. This is used to check and analyze system logs for any critical log entries. The SAP system log is all the system errors, warnings, user logs due to failed logon attempts from known users, and process messages in the system log. This is very critical monitoring transaction. That is, it displays the system log like this. Okay, see, whatever I have hidden here, or that's nothing but those are the system names. Okay, see, we can't just project some system name here because that is business confidential information. That's why I have just covered them. So this is how the system log looks like. So whatever here I have covered, it's nothing but the system SAP system name, server name. Don't worry about that. So this is how the system log looks like. See, runtime error, short term, something, etc. Okay, so this will show all the errors. Okay, it will show errors, even successful entries, warnings, everything. It will track most of the things, the system log. Okay, so if you check the system log, you will come to know like what has happened at some time back. So from the initial screen, that is SM21, here like system log, you can choose different types of logs: local log, remote system log, all remote system logs, and central system log. Set the date a day before and click on reread system. Here, reread system log. So here you will probably, because you will do the daily monitoring every day, so from before day, whatever time you have done the monitoring, from that time till now you put the date from and to, and this is how all remote system logs are. See, an SAP system can have n number of instances. Okay, so local system log means it will show you the system log of the instance which you are logged on to. Remote system log will show on a particular other instance. All remote system logs will show you the system log for all the instances. Central system log means the central system, the primary applications server system log, that is. Okay, then you'll, okay, so these are the different views of the system log. So probably you will need to check all the logs of all the instances. So that's why generally we'll select all remote system logs. So once you log on to an SAP system, you'll log on to any one of the application server. So from there, you have to check all remote system logs. In the system log analysis window, you can check or analyze the critical error messages by double clicking onto it. Red means critical, yellow warning, green is success. So you just double click that, you go inside and you check it. The list can be restricted for problems only, problems and messages and all messages. So probably from the top you can filter, like you want to see only the errors, or you want to see everything, or you want to see warnings and problems, like that. The information in the list can further use to analyze the errors which are indicated with the red sign under priority. Okay, red means it's an error. Also we get the information of the T code that was used by the user when the error got generated. So that's what SM21 will show you everything. Okay, so most of the things which happened in the system, like even like after multiple attempts user was unable to log on to the system, even that will be recorded here. That's why SM21 is very critical transaction. By default, the system reads the log for the last 1 or 2 hours. So just if you press SM21 and if you say read the log, it will read only for last 1 or 2 hours. So that's why you have to put the date and time here, like from what date and time you want to check, and then you have to say select like all remote system logs and then read them. Okay, so similarly, like any error user has got, that will be recorded here. Any update was terminated, that will be recorded here. Log entry, something related to log issue, and that will be recorded here. Okay, user was disconnected from the system because of some network problem, that will be recorded here. All everything, like whatever happens in the SAP system, most of the things will be recorded in SM21. So that's why, like, to know the errors whatever have happened in the system, you have to check SM21. Now the next one is overview of SAP application servers. You can display a list of application servers that have registered themselves with the SAP message server by executing transaction SM51. Only these application servers are active in an SAP system. Okay, so SM51. So here, this is the SM51 screenshot here, because there is only one server that is listed here. As I said earlier, like what all the server names and the host names, like I have just hidden them for confidential purpose. Okay, so if you have n number of instances, all those will be displayed here. Okay, so SM51 shows you what all the different SAP application servers are there in the SAP system. Only these application servers are active in the SAP system. That is the active servers will be displayed here. Further, you can also manage and display the status of the users and work process in all the application servers belonging to the SAP system. The application server display includes the following information. The name usually consists of the host name, that is the server name and the host name, the SAP system name, and the SAP system number. That's what. Even you'll have all the instances. Okay, instance 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, like that. Then the different work process types for which the application server has been configured. Earlier we studied about work process, like what work process an SAP instance will have. Every instance will have dialog work process, but this batch, NQ, spool, update, okay, ICM and J2E, okay, that is also the Java if it's a dual stack. Okay, so the rest all are optional. They generally are present on the primary application server, but you can configure them on other application servers also. So here it is only 1 and 1, so that's why it's having all dialog, batch, update, V1 and V2, that is update and update 2, spool, NQ, ICM and J2E. Okay, and the server status. The possible states of an application server: initial, starting, active, passive, shutdown or stop. Okay, these are the different states. So once you double click it, it will take you inside and it will show you the list of processes in that application server. And further here there are like different icons you see, that is the refresh, okay, then the release notes, all these. Okay, then the other one is CPU, users, the license, everything. So if you click on each of this, it will take you to the different informations which you need. And similarly on the top from go to, you can view all this like process, users, the SCN status, remote logon, everything, the gateway monitor, ICM monitor, VM monitor, server name, host name, buffer, and everything. Okay, so SM51 shows you the list of application servers which are present on in an SAP system. Okay, it will show you that server name and the host name. That host name means like the physical host on which the server is configured, and the different message types means the different types of work process which are configured on the server and its state. Also from the top you can navigate to different options, okay, and it will give you all the information which you need about the application server in detail. So that's why SM51 is again very important. This transaction you have to run daily to check like how all the servers, whether they are active or not. Say like yesterday you find 5 servers and today one is missing. Probably someone has shut it down or because of some error it went down. So that's what immediate snapshot of the application servers configured in an SAP system. That is from SM51. And SMMS, message server monitor transaction, monitor for information on changes to these states. That is like the server state can be like initial, starting, active, passive, shutdown, or stop. You will have all these states. So you can also run this transaction to check the different states of the SAP application server. Okay, so it's the message server monitor transaction. Now the next one is checking ABAP dumps. Again, this is very important transaction, that is ST22. The initial ABAP dump analysis screen appears. So this is the initial ABAP dump screen. Under number of dumps, select today or yesterday. To the right you see the number of short dumps that occurred. So this is how you'll see the list of dumps. If you select today or yesterday, or if you give some date here, or you can give some username to find out the dumps generated by that user or the client. Okay, or you can give the error name. Okay, these are all the different types of filters, the transaction ID, the program name, etc. Okay, or in general like today and yesterday, or you can give the date and time and you say start, you will see the list of errors. Okay, so a list appears with the short dumps. So you will see a list of errors. These are the dumps. Dumps are nothing but errors. The list contains the time and the host name and an error text. So it will have the time, similarly the application server, on which application server this error has occurred, the username, the client. Okay, then the type of error and the other details. By double clicking any line, you can display detailed information about that cause, where the error occurred, and possible suggestions for solving the problem. If you cannot solve the problem by yourself, call the SAP hotline. So once you double click on this error, it will take you to the error, actual error and text. So there you will see all that information related to that error. Okay, and these are the ones which probably you need to have a look every day and try to fix them. Okay, and other more important thing is like, if there are so many errors, like because of some something went down and all other process are trying to access it, okay, you'll get n number of dumps suddenly. Say like database went out of space, so many users are accessing it, so all those users will get the errors and everything will be recorded here. So there will be an overflow. Okay, the errors are recorded in one table known as the snap table, so that table will overflow. Okay, so in that case you have to probably sometimes manually go and clear it also. Okay, so once they reach some 1 lakh or 2 lakh errors, okay, that table itself will overflow because all these terms are stored in that table. So that time you have to clear that, clear. There'll be more options here. So once you go inside, you will probably need to reorganize or to delete the data in that snap table. And if you are unable to fix any of these errors by yourself, you can also raise an OSS message. Okay, so ST22 is again very important. These are the actual errors. SM21 shows everything: warnings, errors, even successful things also. But this ST22 will show you the actual errors which have occurred, and these are to be fixed. So the aim of the basis administrator is to run the system with minimal errors. Okay, if some error you see repeatedly occurring, like every day that error is occurring, then it needs some attention and it needs to be fixed. Okay, so you can go inside, you can read like the short text, the error analysis, everything, like what all information is here, you can read it, and you can most of the times with the help of the other teams, or if it is something like completely related to the NetWeaver basis team, you can solve it yourself, or with the help of other teams you can solve it. If within your project you are unable to solve it and that error needs to be fixed because it's impacting business process, you can also raise an OSS message. Okay, so that's the significance of ST22. That is the ABAP terms, and these terms are also stored in table known as snap. Okay, similarly system log also, if there are so many errors generated, okay, even that log will become full. Okay, so that's why like probably you'll not be able to see, like say at one point of time so many errors were written some 2 hours back, so you will not be able to see the previous entries because system log, it will erase the before information and it will write the information, the same log it will write. Okay, so here also snap table also, once so many errors are recorded at a point of time, you will have to go and manually delete the dumps. In that case, all the old dumps or errors also will be deleted, means like they will be deleted because the table is already full. Once you go and delete all the errors, okay, you have to be careful, like you delete only the errors which are recorded at that point, otherwise old dumps also will be deleted. Okay, if you just say and reorganize that table, like all the old data will be deleted. So if you are trying to delete any dumps, make sure like what date and time dumps you are deleting. But SM21, it's not like that. If some issue occurs and some error happened, like the log will be fully overwritten. Okay, so you will be unable to see the past log. So that's why like every day you have to track them. Okay, because some point of time somebody has some issue occurred or somebody deleted the old errors, it will be difficult for you to find out what has happened at that point of time. Now the next one is, this is again very very important, updates in the SAP system. Update, database update, SM13. This transaction is in the SAP system. A business process is mapped by means of an SAP transaction. Yes, so every business process is carried out through an SAP transaction, which can include several screen changes. For example, creating an order. The changes to the data caused by this business process should be written to the database in full or not at all. Yes, so the ABAP transaction will either be successful or it will be fail. It will fail if the operation is cancelled while the transaction is being executed, or if an error occurs, the transaction should not make any changes to the database. These activities are handled by the SAP update system, which is described below. That is how update runs. This is update screen, the client, user, the different status of an update. Okay, this is when once you type SM13 and press enter, this is what the screen you are going to see, and immediately you have to check this update is active or not. If the update is deactivated by mistake, or if it goes down due to some event in the system, all the changes, updations to the database will halt. So the immediate check is check whether update is active or not. Okay, and this will list see, you can, once an update is getting processed, first the V1 part, then the V2 part. Okay, some ones are like in initial status ones, they'll be still, they are lying and they are like waiting for the update process, you know, to take care of them. So that's why you generally select all, you give client and user star, you want to see everything. And similarly, date from yesterday's, generally the daily monitoring you'll see from yesterday to today, and you execute it. So this is how the screen looks like. Okay, error, no retrieve. Sometimes you can see initial. Okay, so sometimes you will see V1 processed, means the V1 part is over, it's waiting for the V2 part to get processed. And sometimes V2 processed you will see a set, because they are like dependent ones, and all those V2 ones are to be processed. Okay, so you just go and you can double click them and it will take you to the screen. It will further like show, will give you like what are the different modules. See this error, see this is actually, this went into error. So if somebody have double clicked it, it will show you like what is the error record in that update. This update is having like V1 and V2, so one V1 failed. Okay, so the result, the entire update also went into error, something like this. The update system of workload of the SAP transactions when time consuming changes are made to the database. These are carried out asynchronously in special update work process. We know the update work process handle the updates. The update system also avoids rollback problems that occur as a result of the differences between the logical units of work in an SAP transaction and in the database. So update management transaction is SM13. We know like updation once it happens only through update work process. Okay, the update system also avoids rollback problems that occur as a result of the difference between logical units of work in an SAP transaction and in the database. Okay, so that's how updates are to be monitored. Okay, we have studied out like what is update and update work process earlier. Now this SM13 is used to monitor these updates in the SAP system, and these error ones you either have to fix them, or if the error is not related to the basis or the NetWeaver area, then you have to report them to the corresponding user or the team. Okay, so see, being an administrator of the system, you have to own all the activities. Simply like, you know, because something you are not able to fix it, we shouldn't keep quiet. We have to send them, follow them with the appropriate user or which team, functional team or somebody who can fix them. So a basis administrator should own, you know, this type of tasks also. Okay, so in today's topic we have started with what is monitoring, what is the aim of monitoring in the SAP system. Okay, so to identify the errors, proactively identifying, fix issues and to improve the system performance. Then we have seen the different types of, you know, monitorings like system monitoring, business process monitoring and root cause analysis. Then we have started out with the different transactions which are used for monitoring. Today we have seen 4 transactions. The first one is SM21, which is used to check the system log. Okay, so from this is a very critical transaction, you have to monitor every day. The next one we went to SM51, which shows the overview of SAP application servers in the SAP system. So you daily have to check this. Okay, and further from this transaction it will give you various other informations about each of the instance of the SAP server or the SAP system. And SMMS is the message server monitor transaction, probably you can check this also. The next one we went to ABAP terms, that is ST22. Okay, so this shows all the errors which have occurred in the system, the runtime errors. You have to check out like what errors are there and try to fix them. The next one we went to SM13, that is the updates in the SAP system. And here first thing you have to check whether the update is active in the system or not, and then you have to check like what are the error updates and fix them. And other important thing which you have to check here is, see, if you see a lot of updates, say like v1 processed or v2 processed, means like the v1 part is processed and it's waiting for the v2 to be processed. Sometimes the v2 is processed and v2 means like it's waiting for the collective run for all the set of v2 to get updated. And sometimes you will see many of the update work process in init status also. That this happens because there are more updations happening to the system, and the type of update work process are very less in the system. Okay, so in that case probably you have to check out like why so many updates are happening simultaneously, or if that is a business need, then you might have to increase the update work process in such situations also. Okay, so if you see a lot apart from tracking the error ones and fixing them, say like so many updates are in init status or in v1 process status or in v2 process status, you have to check like why they are waiting. Initial means that update is simply waiting, it has to get processed. If you see for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, then because probably you have to check like whether all the update work process are occupied and why so many updates are getting piled up. Then you have to some critical activities going on which has more updations, and then you have to check with the business, and then upon certain approvals you can increase the update work process also. Okay, or sometimes like simply the update itself goes down and that's why all the updates are getting piled up. So that's why I have told you like check this whether update is activated or not. If it's not active, then you go to this, click on this administration button, you will go into a different screen, activate it. Okay, so this is about updates. So we have read about SM21 system log, SM51 overview of application servers, checking the ABAP dumps ST22, and updates SM13 in today's topic. Okay, so in the next video we'll see different, again some more set of transactions in daily monitoring. Thank you.